Welcome, nerds, to day two, Nerd Summit 2020 Virtual Edition. We got another great day of stuff. Yesterday went really well. Something that we talked about throughout the day yesterday and a little bit this morning was just the difference that it made to kind of default to video off. And how that felt like it was really missing to not see people. So let's try to keep our videos on today. Not required, of course. But if you are somebody that doesn't mind having your video on, or if you're somebody that wants to like experiment with being somebody who doesn't mind having their video on, let's go for it. And if we run into any issues, then we'll deal with it then. But it's really nice as sessions are starting and while they're happening, just to really like, it helps create more of that sense of we're all here.
Kelly, this is Rick. I agree with that totally, but I was in some sessions where people were told to turn it off for bandwidth, which I think only get told to turn it off if it seems like it's an issue, I think.
Yeah. So I think when we were figuring out how do we want to dip our toes into this experiment, I think it was like, all right, well, do we make everybody turn them off by default, or do we risk that situation where like, hey, we think that your thing is choppy because your bandwidth is, and then figure it out in the middle of the session. So I think the change is we're not going to tell people to turn all their videos off at the beginning of the session, and then we'll just, if there is a problem in the session, we'll just deal with it. Does anybody see a reason to object to that? Put your no. I'm going to clear off all these things since we're all in the participants window. Is there a single no for this idea? Oh my goodness. Somebody's practicing their no button. All right.
Kelly, I don't have a no, but it might be worth putting this out on the host Slack channel, because our room slides tell everyone to turn the camera off if you are not the speaker.
Yep.
So maybe just point that out.
Okay.
And it also might be good to remind folks that in the recording, when you talk, your video and or like name that you have in Zoom comes up. So if you want to stay private and not have your name or face appear on the YouTube recording, put your question in the chat so that the host can read it. And if you look at a video, you see your name, we can see if we can try to edit it out or something. But
yeah, I think the only real change is that we're not going to be forcing people to turn or requesting that everybody turn off their video. So. Cool. All right. This is you're in the second day of a nerd event. This is the annual summit. The ideal is that we have smaller events throughout the year leading up to this annual summit, and this is a great place to build your speaking expertise and speaking skills. It is made possible by sponsors. Sponsors are a big part of this. So make sure to thank them on Twitter. We had an excellent effort yesterday, thanking all the sponsors. On the website, in the sponsor section, there's a nice easy link below each sponsor's logo to trigger a Twitter tweet that thanks them. And we borrowed that from NedCamp, and Rick implemented it quite nicely. So we've got our top level sponsors are Last Call Media, and the UMass College of Natural Sciences, and Common Media, and CleverTech, Cubic Coworks, and Homeworks Energy. Make sure you get all of their logos linked to their websites. Go check them out. CleverTech is also sponsoring the hackathon, which is on Sunday, which is tomorrow. There's a separate sign up for that on the website in the section for the virtual hackathon. And the other thing about these upper level sponsors is Qubit Coworks on there on qubitcoworks.com/nerd. They have a form to fill out to get a free month of using their facilities to try it out. And I actually do use their facilities. We want to make sure to especially thank our normal venue host that was all geared up and ready and everything was locked in for this event that we had to switch gears on very quickly, but we still want to thank them. Special thanks to Steve Brewer. He's our connection there. He makes all that possible. And this amazing volunteers slide. This one's a good one to just sit and think. So very thankful for this slide. There have been years. I think last year was different. Maybe they kind of lose track over time, but there was one year where it was like more or less just Rick and me, and we were like, we need to do something about this.
Yeah, that was 3 years ago. Last year it got a lot better.
Yeah,
This is really, really good. This is super good.
Yep. And like everybody is so engaged. Yeah, it's really amazing to do this with so many people. So thank you to everybody there.
And you might want to say that anybody who isn't on that list is very welcome to come join it.
Yes. Yeah, totally. How can we tell people what's the call to action for that? Email rick@nerd.mga.
Yes.
Well, or say something on a Slack channel, right?
Yeah. That's a good call. Everybody, we have Slack, which if you go to nerd.ngo/join, it'll forward you to a place to put your email in and get added into Slack automatically. And there are a lot of channels in there. There's a summit organizer channel. And anybody that wants to get involved, there's plenty of room. And yeah, please do. I think everybody that's tried to get involved has you can find your way right into having a lot of stuff on your plate if you want, or not a lot. I think it's I think it's a cool thing. All right. We did, and yeah, I think one of the most amazing things about this year is doing all the stuff we normally do. We also redesigned and rebuilt the website. I remember when I think Rick made a Jira issue for that, and I was like, that'll be cool if that happens. It totally did. So thank you to everybody that had a hand in that too. Here's an information slide. Yeah, join into Slack. There's those chats don't go away. The Zoom chats do. If you join one of the Zoom meetings, the things that people have added in before you joined, you don't see. I didn't see a setting for that. That seems to be how it works. But the stuff in the Slack channels is going to be there. It's going to stay there. Read and follow our code of conduct. Very important. There's a link there. And if there are any issues, you can chime in Slack. The Summit channel is a good channel for that, or you can just send an email to support@nerd. We also have a channel where that'll create a ticket in Jira and throw it into Slack. So we'll see it there. Just definitely also want to thank Lou Franco for the app. We've had an app every year for a number of years. He keeps it updated. I don't know if the join links showed up in it. We have it pulling from the same schedule source. I haven't even logged in to check. But speaking of the schedule, we had a little issue yesterday where something was going on Zoom's end with the redirect of the links. But this join link on each session on the schedules was working for me the whole time. So for some reason, if you clicked on the link in Slack or if you pasted into a browser, it was giving you like a page not found error. But this join link kept working for me. I think there were some people that the join link also didn't work for, but there was definitely something going on where the join link was worked more than any other way to get to the rooms. So there's
It looked like virtually all of those problems reported though were all leading up to the 4:15 session. I had the
Yep.
same problem, and I started 2 or 3 times and I couldn't get it working, and then I finally quit using the join link and went into Zoom and I think used the URL or something like that. But
yeah,
it
there's
all seemed to be centered around 4:15, so I have a feeling there was some larger problem that we were getting affected by.
Yep. We found we threw a workaround into the Summit channel that got people in, but then shortly after that they fixed whatever their issue was. Also on this page is what we've done to replace the booth experience for our sponsors that had booths, so they're now room sponsors. The coffee and networking room, which we did yesterday morning, and and at different points throughout the day, and this morning is sponsored by Last Call Media and Acquia. They were originally the breakfast and coffee and lunch sponsors, and the Hangout and Help room, which basically represents the registration desk and the lobby, that's sponsored by Common Media. Rick is in that room throughout the day. And then 135, the keynote room, sponsored by Qubit Coworks, and the rest of the room sponsored by the rest of the people that you see here. So they would have been at the summit yesterday and today at booths, and we could have talked to them. So there are a couple of channels in Slack. I'm not sure who, you're welcome to, if you're a sponsor, you're welcome to make a channel, invite people into it. Otherwise, you're welcome to say something between the sessions in those rooms that you're a sponsor of. So we'll see. We'll do the best we can there. Let's see. Oh, another thing that we tried that is kind of new is the coffee and networking. I had originally thought like, okay, this could be like a place that people go, if there aren't any sessions that they want to see, or between the sessions they could go. But that kind of didn't work yesterday. It didn't really make sense for that for that, like maybe if you don't want to see if there isn't a session in a time slot, like you could just take a break and do something around your house. So why would you jump in the coffee and networking room? So it did work really well, like when it was more of like a targeted thing, like in the morning. A lot of people joined this morning. It was a very nice conversation. And then like yesterday at lunch, at the lunch break, a lot of people joined in. It was pretty cool. So we'll do that again. It's all over the schedule. We anytime there was a cancellation, we put the link in there. But if you want to join into the coffee and networking, let's do it on our lunch break. So grab a bite, grab a bite to eat, bring it over to the computer if you want to jump in, and we can meet then. And there won't be a party today. This was yesterday. That was really cool. We had several people join. A lot of people stayed on the whole time. Some people came and went. We had quite a contingent from Chattanooga, the Chattanooga Drupal camp. They found out about it. So we had several people from there. They were a lot of fun. But that was pretty great. And the feedback form, we've gotten a lot of good feedback so far. This is the URL, nerd.ngo/feedback. Load that up if you have feedback and you want to submit it in real time. It's just open always. We're collecting that. And we really do process every piece of feedback. We group the feedback, we analyze the feedback, we create JIRA issues out of the feedback, and we take it with us into the next year. And I think that's something that makes it a lot of fun, is to be responsive to that feedback. The summit would be boring year after year if we didn't ever get feedback. So it's not a waste of time to give your feedback. We really live on it. Are there any questions? Let's see. Yes, there was an issue with the Vanity Zoom URLs. It was brief. And yeah, I don't know. I mean, You know, with the question about the non-vanity URLs, I was pasting those into Slack and people were having the same issue. So it seemed to be like a little bit of a deeper issue. Yeah. So anything that I might have missed? It's always weird doing the same slides 2 days in a row because it's like, how much do I repeat myself?
Come to Coffee and Networking. That was a blast. I love that, in the breakout rooms and stuff.
Yeah. The more people that come, the more we can play with the breakout rooms. And the breakout rooms are really incredible because it just kind of streamlines meeting someone new and takes all the like awkwardness out of it. Let's see. Somebody has a question. Has the schedule been updated with sessions moved from yesterday? Yes. Yeah, so Rick, the current schedule on the website's all accurate and everything.
Yes, there's only one that moved. There was one that moved from yesterday to today, and then there's been a couple of cancellations late yesterday, so take a look at today's schedule for those.
Yep. So I think it's really just at the lunch break could be our next shot at coffee and networking, because then the day finishes out, and that's it for the 2 days of sessions at Nerd Summit. And there's no closing session.
Kelly, can you talk a little bit about what's up with the hackathon?
Yes.
How is that going to happen? Do you know?
Is Chad on the call?
Yeah, I see him.
Yeah, and like I'm registered for it tomorrow, and I've actually got a few kids going to be coming with me, but I don't have the link. I went back through everything, and I'm not sure what link to use to join it at tomorrow morning at 9 a.m.
Chad, I unmuted you.
He might not be ready for
Yeah,
this.
maybe
He's got to wake up.
or he might have left.
But you were able to unmute him.
Yeah.
Well, so yeah, there should be. I think there was some communication about the hackathon room in Slack. So that's another big reason to get into Slack. And we know that some registrants. I've seen a lot of registrants from the hackathon site getting into Slack. And I think the idea is that in that hackathon channel, it will start there. And so it's going to be using one of these rooms. We'll have all of the rooms from Nerd Summit will be available to the hackathon. So you'll kind of just have to pick one to use to all get into the same room, and then divvy up from there.
Yeah, I do know that Chad's going to use Slack a lot more than Zoom for that. So it's probably important to get into Slack.
Mm-hmm. So maybe this will be another reason to come to the lunch break. We'll get these answered. Yeah, just chat with them and track them down in Slack. That can be the mission for today. Let's figure this out by lunch. Cool. All right. Okay, everybody, go nerd out.
Yay.
Woo!